Alrighty, so season 3 of The Chosen is completely over, and finally we're going to take some time and we're going to rate every single episode of season 3, just like we've done for the other seasons. You can check out our other ranking videos of season 1 and season 2 back on our channel. But here, let's talk about season 3. This was a very, very good season overall. I think the cinematography, the writing, the acting, everything in this season was definitely pumped up a notch, and I think I would rate this season as the highest out of all of the seasons overall. You can already see people in the chat, over here, people in the chat are already leaving their ratings, and so you guys let me know in the comments down below, how would you rate The Chosen Season 3? So, without further ado, let's jump into this and see how we would do it. So, what we're going to do is, let's do it in reverse order, actually. Let's try to go from number 8 to number 1. This is always a very difficult task because, you know, it's just hard. It's not always the easiest thing to do. But let's see. Number 8. This is going to be harder than I thought, I think. Let's see. I think immediately the one that pops out to my mind is episode 6. Not because it's a horrible episode, but because it is more of a setup episode. Episode 7 as well is kind of similar for me, and so is episode 4. Episode 4 is kind of similar for me as well. Let's see here. Trying to think through. Episode 3 for me, I thought was really, really well done. Let me refresh myself real quick on episode 6, because I'm blanking on what is everything in the episode. I know we just went through it a little bit, but yeah, we've got pilot. Oh, the opening scene in this was sick though, with the snake. We've got more of Quintus and Gaius. We've got the Decapolis, but it's all set up episode. So really the majority of the episode is like the ladies, and then this last big scene here. I don't think I can rate this last. I think on its own, because I'm ranking these individually, it has to be this one. It has to be episode 4. Unfortunately, episode 4 is going to be my worst ranking episode as of right now. We could change this as we go through, so we'll see how it works out. But for now, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do episode 4 right here, as I convince myself to do that. I'm going to put episode 6 right below it. Let me change the size of this one. Episode 6 is going to be right there, just a bit better. Episode 4 was just hard because it's such a setup episode. And episode 6 was probably very similar. Episode 7, I don't know. Should this go here? I don't know. Episode 7. Think. So right now I'm episode 4, episode 6, episode 7. Let me look at episode 7 real fast. Make sure I remember everything that's in here. Let's see. Well, we have the opening scene of Purim, right? And then we have the boys coming back. We've got all the stuff here. Atticus talking to the Pharisees. Simon sulking with Gaius. Matthew's flashback. Matthew's restoration. And then the sending off of the people. And then the beginning of the feeding the 5,000. Yeah, again, it's a setup episode. Again, none of these episodes are bad, but I do think episode 7 deserves to be there. Okay. Let's see. We've got episode 8 here. I'll save that because I think that's going to be one of our better episodes. Episode 1 maybe here. Maybe episode 7 and episode 1 are switched. I don't know. Episode 1 is good, but again, it's such a setup episode, and there were some weird wonky things in there as well, like the travel times between Machiris and Capernaum for Andrew, and some different things there were a little bit weird. Episode 2 is one of the strongest for me, for sure. And episode 5 is really strong as well, although I struggle with it because of the disconnect there. Just because we don't really know Veronica and Jairus as characters that well. So I'm going to go there. And maybe I harbor some resentment because I got my guess about Joanna wrong, and it was Veronica instead, so maybe I harbor some resentment because of that. That's a joke, just kidding. Hey guys, I wanted to let you know about something wild about our channel. 67% of the people that watch our channel are not subscribed. So if you're not, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. It would really, really help us out. Since this is my full-time job, I really rely on YouTube to push out these videos. And the more subscribers we have, generally that helps it to push out to more people. So it would really, really help us out if you could subscribe. Thanks. I'm not going to put 3 number 1 for sure. I think episode 2 for me, maybe number 1. Episode 8, maybe number 2. Maybe like this. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about this? So right now we've got number 1 is episode 2, then episode 8, then episode 3, then episode 5, then episode 1, then episode 7, episode 6, and episode 4. So here's my okay, so you guys are saying episode 8 is number 1. Everybody's saying episode 8 is number 1, episode 8 is number 1. Okay, episode 8 is the best. Okay, here's my thought process, okay? Just so that we're all on the same page. My thought process is, okay, let's go through episode 2 because it's the only episode to ever make me cry, okay? There are some really, really strong moments in this one, including the setup for the Zealots. We get the Matthew redemption arc here between his parents, which is the only scene to ever make me cry in The Chosen ever. Having this be the second episode that appeared in theaters as it was kind of released was amazing. Then we get the beginning as everything kind of comes through. We get Simon the Zealot again kind of being set up here as they go through the setup for Simon and Eden, family planning, all of that stuff. And then the 2x2 scene. So the reason why I'm ranking this so high is 3 reasons. The 2x2 scene, the Little James scene, and the Matthew scene. If that was all this episode was, it would rank super, super, super highly for me. Having those 3 things in here, incredibly important. We're seeing the setup for Gaius as well. We're seeing the setup for Thomas and Rhema as well. We're seeing a lot of different things, but these main 3 pillars of this episode are actually so huge, which is why it's ranking so high for me right now. But let me do the same thing for episode 8, and let's kind of go through it one more time. Episode 8, mega long episode, by the way. It's like 90 minutes. I know there's a bunch of stuff at the ending as well. But the episode as a whole is like 100. It's like an hour and 10 minutes, which is nutty. The opening with David, really, really cool. I wish we had some more clarification here, by the way, for David at exactly what time frame this is with Bathsheba. They have definitely confirmed that this is Bathsheba, by the way, on David Tate's channel on Now Let's Be Honest. They commented and said, yes, this is Bathsheba. So yes, this is Bathsheba, but we don't know if this is in between her first pregnancy with David or right after that point. So it's hard to guess what time frame this is for David exactly. However, still a very, very cool scene. I love how they integrated the Psalms. and had it kind of being unfinished and stuff there. We see these different groups coming in, the different arguments happening, and we see the kind of the correlation between the feeding the 4,000 and the feeding the 5,000. We see Eden as she kind of has this mask that, you know, is torn down, and the ladies are able to get into her mindset there, help her out. We see the feeding the 5,000 as everybody gathers. We meet Nishan, and he kind of brings the Pharisees and everybody into the mix, and Atticus as well into the mix. We see Pharisees, we see feeding the 5,000, feeding the 5,000 happens. Eden as well is kind of weaved throughout all of this to make sure that everything's combined. And then we see the climax of everything as the walking on water happens, and we go from there. So, yes, in episode 8, we do get these massive moments of the feeding the 5,000 and of the walking on water, the calming of the storm, all that stuff. Amazing moments, right? Very well shot, very well done. Everything seemed to do really, really well. It was amazing. But for me personally, I think I'm still putting this number 1. Because for me personally, this is the most impactful episode. So I have to rate it in my own conscience, in my own thoughts. So I know everybody's yelling at me. Episode 8 is better. Episode 8 is the best. Episode 8, blah, 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 episode 8. Okay. I didn't say it was bad. Okay. I didn't say it was bad. Okay. I just said, you know, I just said it wasn't as good. Yep. I dare, for sure. I dare. The Chosen is the best Bible series. I would agree. You should have seen it in the theater. I wish I could have. Okay? I was out of the country. There's no way for me to see it in theaters. We tried. At one point, I was even going to rent out an entire theater just to watch it by myself, but it wasn't. We couldn't do it. Okay? Listen, we need more people to sign up for Patreon. If we have more people sign up for Patreon, okay, then I can rent out a whole theater and I can watch The Chosen whenever I want. Okay? If you want to support us and to help us to do crazy things in the future, then I would love to have you on our Patreon. But that didn't happen. So I think that's my ranking. So again, we'll go over it one more time. Episode 2, Episode 8, Episode 3, Episode 5, Episode 1, Episode 7, Episode 6, and then Episode 4, because it's such a setup episode, it was really hard to kind of go through that one. Not that it was a bad episode, but it was mainly about Episode 5. So I really thought that Episode 4 and 5 should have been one episode, kind of crunched together. And then that would have been one of the best episodes of The Chosen ever. I hope you like this small piece of our weekly live stream. If you want to see the whole thing, just like always, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/thesnipelife. This is the best way to help support us, and you get to see the entire live stream where we have interaction with chat, answer questions, and do a bunch of different stuff on there. It's your choice whether you want to support $5, $10, or $25 a month, and this is really the best way to help support us on this channel and help us to make more videos just like this. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.